the poison. Brampton Excelsiors begin a 6-game homestand, coming off three wins in a row and then back-to-back losses. Meanwhile, on the other side, after 5 straight losses, the Six Nations Arrows picked up an 11-7 win against St. Catharines. A ladder game for both of these two teams who can make moves in the standings as we bring you the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week from the Brampton Memorial Arena here in Brampton. Six Nations Arrows, Brampton Excelsiors. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside the JVI Sports Network as we get you set for the first of 4 games coming up on YouTube this week. Be sure you subscribe to the channel, which, by the way, passed 4,000 subscribers earlier this week. Pair of 83s going to do battle at the face-off dot. Black jerseys with orange numbers going right to left away from Ethan Robinson are the Arrows. White, royal purple, and gold for the Excelsiors, working left to right away from Connor O'Toole, who is the top minutes goaltender in the OJLL for the second year in a row. Dante Bowen, after controlling the face-off, Nolan Byrne. Good stretch for Byrne. Will flip to Eric Acton. Wasn't in the lineup last time we saw Brampton. Jacob Janke back to De Silva. Silva trying to find Byrne cutting through. That bounced off a defender. Shot clock down to 5 seconds. Turning and firing is Janke, but Robinson makes the first save. This combination of Arrows goaltenders, him and Saga Thompson, facing tremendous amounts of shots through the early goings of this season. I say early goings, but this marks the halfway point of the season for the Arrows, playing game number 10 already of 20. This is Chase Kogan, who's been strong the past couple games, including the first OJLL hat trick 2 games ago. And Stu Montour saying before the game that scored a couple big goals in that win. Nolan Marshall back to Bowie Horseman. A couple fakes from Horseman before firing off the end boards. Ty Scott can't get a shot through. Nolan Byrne does, and it'll reset the shot clock off the arm of Robertson. You can tell it's him with the orange chrome bucket. For my money, the best goalie lid in the OJLL on display here this evening. Big step up from Dalen John Hill. Thunderhill will take top spot now, the top goal leader and points leader for this Arrows team. Shot, though, came from Matt Hamill, who the Arrows say are happy to have back from school. Played a big part in that win as well. John Hill back to Thunder. Lined up the big shot that he's gotten from out there. Dalen Hill had the ball roll right to him. And it's in on net. O'Toole trying to get it out to Neil Adamson. Had a bit of trouble with it. No Darcy Thompson or Zach Shepard, which makes room for Leon Odette to make his OJLL debut. Draft pick in the most recent draft of the Excelsiors. Here's Byrne. Nolan Byrne draws a double team and picks the corner. First goal of the game goes to the Excelsiors, and it's Nolan Byrne. You'll watch the work done in the corner here. Christopher De Silva coming to set the screen, and Byrne going to sneak past 2 defenders, and it goes over the left shoulder of Robertson for the first goal. 2.5 minutes into this first period. Jaden Kennedy coming over to take this face-off against Nicholas Belmonte. Ben Baker finding Callum Witter, who's had a strong defensive season so far, can push transition as well. Byrne. Back to Scott, his running sidearm shot. Sails off the end glass. Assists going to Christopher De Silva and Eric Acton on the opening goal. Suggo Swamp with the ball now. Double eights, gets the screen from Thunderhill. Turned and I think was ready to pass it to Hill, but he was still tied up. Kogan in through the middle. Pass to McKay Jimerson. His shot off O'Toole. Rebound's going to go all the way back over center. No over and back. And now the shot clock resets. Thunderhill to Kennedy. Jaden Jimerson onto the floor on the one-man change. Kogan through the middle. It's back to Jimerson again. Now Swamp to Hill. Thunderhill way up top all by himself. Open room for the shot. Thought about going low. Went high instead. And then crashing into the crease was Suggo Swamp. No time for him to get a shot away. Trent Robertson now to Horseman, a leader on offense for this team, although there are guys like Byrne and others that we've mentioned who have stepped up, and it is going to be Byrne on cue, intercepting the outlet pass. Last time the Excelsiors were the OJLO Game of the Week, Bowie Horseman put up a 4 spot. Here against St. Catharines, the last win for the Athletics, who have been struggling of late. Trying to cross center and doing so. Brody Thomas, official's got his arm high. They're going to call that one on a penalty. Dalen John Hill faking the pass to Kogan. John Hill back up top, stepping up to partially block the Hamill shot. It's up for Kogan now. He got drilled into by Witter. Actually might have stumbled on the turf, it looks like, and slow to get up. Kogan already with a big wrap on that right knee. And Odette getting called for the penalty. Here's a look. An illegal cross check. I guess the argument is that it's on the back, but enough of an angle, I would have thought. For that one to go unnoticed, but the first power play of the game does go the way of the Arrows. Kogan taking top spot. He'll put it to Swamp in the corner. Interesting, there's no Hill over on that left side. As Kogan wheels off the shooter spot. Gives back to Hamill, whose sidearm finds O'Toole. First round, Vancouver Warriors draft pick, Connor O'Toole. Hamill for Kogan. 5.5 minutes into the first period. 1-0 Excelsiors. First power play of the game. As Swamp has it through Hamill and Kogan. Kennedy now. Here comes the play. As Kogan goes to set the screen. Hamill to Swamp. Return pass to Kennedy. Knocked down by Witter. It goes sky high, but falls right down to McKay Jimerson. Then the bounce shot. Hamill put it right into the turf, and it goes up and out of play. Halfway through the power play. Ty Carty crossing center. And they'll put it in the stick of Nolan Byrne, who will slow things down. Out there with De Silva, Jacob Janke right now, who grabs the pass, and Nolan Marshall. Janke's going to circle the crease, 5 on the shot clock. Probably going to do nothing with it. Bounces it back for Byrne, who does reset the shot clock. Nifty little play there. The reverse bounce pass. And then the desperation shot from Byrne to get an extra 30 here. Shot clock 4 seconds less than the penalty time, so they can't take the whole thing. Marshall will drop the shoulder, trying to lose his man Becker. Yanni Thompson will take up the fight with a couple whacks. Screen there, looking to find space for Marshall. And the ball bounces out of his stick just inside the restraining line. And the shot clock will sound, but almost a full minute of offensive pressure from the Excelsiors takes care of Liam Odette's penalty, and he's coming out. I thought he was going after Kogan for sure. Elected to peel off and go to the bench. That was setting up to be a big hit. Jaden Jimerson's shot handled by O'Toole, and he'll go up to Dante Bowen, who had a highlight reel transition goal The supersized Happy Meal for Jonathan Donville. In transition, lowered the shoulder, ran his man over, and as he pointed out on Instagram, headbutted the glass when he was done for good measure. Eric Acton in front, big collision there. Ball rolls to Robertson. Jacob Janke gets up after he got drilled, cutting in front of the crease. McKay Jimerson to the outside. Swamp gets the pick, shoots and scores. Suggo Swamp ties the game. Getting help here off the bench from Matt Hamill. Not going to get an assist, but with two screens, the first one taking the defender low to open shooting space, and then the second one to allow the shooter to get around and up into the prime position to make it a 1-1 game with 12 minutes to go here in the first period. De Silva with it now, looking for Byrne through the middle. Couldn't handle the pass, was run into. Ball's going to roll for Marshall, takes a couple chops on his way out. Shot clock under 10. Now to 5 for Byrne. Still unable to get a shot away. Good defense in front of him by Blaze Becker. Now it does go wide of the net, but into the stick of Cole Palace. Ball taken away from the Arrows here, however. I think there was something going on underneath of us in between the two benches. Eric Acton lost the ball for Horseman and then put a big and too aggressive screen on his man, so Arrows will get it here. Thunderhill from the outside. Robertson screened out of the way. Hill to the crease. Bouncing through. They're going to call no goal in the crease. Looked like that one had bounced over the line, but Thunderhill followed it through and past the crease line. Jacob Janke to Horseman to Byrne. He's going to direct traffic, wants Ty Scott to go through the middle. Byrne still with it. Scott can't shake the defender. There's a couple good shifts in a row now for Becker. And then this one's going to be intercepted by Wales Reset. Down to Yanni Thompson. Off the bench, Jimerson. Swamp's going to take up position down in the corner. Hill following Hamill off the bench. This is Hill to Swamp. Ball up top to Jimerson again. Jaden Jimerson will leave it here. And the shot off the arm and in of O'Toole. And McKay Jimerson gives the Arrows the lead. A lot of movement in front. You can see how the seas kind of part a little bit in the middle. Looks like Jimerson would go up top and shoot through that big hole that was created. McKay Jimerson from Jaden Jimerson and Leroy Ryan Jimerson came in to take and win the faceoff, but it is the Excelsior's back. Could have the Jimerson from Jimerson and Jimerson here tonight. Those three connect on a faceoff play. Byrne all alone in front. One too many moves as the last one shot it wide. They did reset the shot clock as Janke picked it up, and then his momentum carried him through the crease. Going back to the old Six Nations Chiefs, Brampton Excelsior's MSL days. Bomberry, and Bomberry. Here's Hill. Out to the outside boards. Jaden Jimerson. Passes it back to Hill. It's returned to the right side. Kogan ducks and drives. And matching that one was O'Toole down to his knees. Phoenix pulling. One-on-one with Rails Reset. Eric Acton coming off the bench with a head of steam. Fake shoots and scores. The little hitch coming off the bench is just enough to hold the defense. Watch him come off here. Right into your screen, and right there, momentum of the defender carried out, and a little bit extra move at the end to get through on Robertson, and that one's going to tie it up at 2 with 8:37 to go. Jimerson and Belmonte at the face-off circle. Janke digging for it, as is Blaze Becker. And Janke on the back of Becker. Hands the ball here to the Arrows. Hill has Hamill in front of him. Off the bench comes Jimerson. That's McKay Jimerson. Kennedy rolls off his defender. Had to stop before the crease. To Jimerson, far side. Hill, outside shot, caught against the leg by O'Toole, who immediately gets up and looks down floor for Trent Robertson. Callum Witter down the boards to Byrne. He's got De Silva in front, setting a couple screens. Pass to the far side. Bounce to Aaron. It's through the legs of Robertson, bouncing around. And Byrne got the friendly home bounce off the glass and nearly put it 5-hole on Robertson. So goes Swamp, already with one into O'Toole. He'll make the save. I don't know if he started out of the crease by Carty. Horseman trailing the play. Carty lost his balance and a shoe in that exchange at center, so he goes off. Horseman will leave it outside. Byrne fakes, puts it to the outside. Scott off the boards, had Byrne all alone, couldn't find him with the pass. Hard check there. Byrne's going to go back to the crease and past the cylinder. Brody Thomas, a nice little recovery there after some good work done in the corner, but then lost his man. Only briefly. Kennedy, he slips just inside the restraining line. That's twice we've seen an Arrows player go down close to the same spot on the floor. Back here for Reset. Feeding it in through the crease. Thunderhill trying to find Jaden Jimerson. And it's Bowen, the bench, telling him to go. He's going to wait up for the offense, however. Horseman. Acton, the late arrival. Now Scott will complete the change. Through Marshall. Into Acton, to Silva. All five have touched it now. With Ty Scott going over the top. A sidearm skip shot. Easy save for Robertson. Powless across center. Suggo Swamp trailing the play. Hamill and Kennedy. Last to make the floor. Kennedy tries a twist bouncer. And into that big plastic stick of O'Toole, the only goaltender that we've seen use that as opposed to the big Woody. Here's Byrne. Down the boards to Silva. Up top, no shot from Odette. Now takes one on the run. Bounced it off the end glass. Lands in the stick of Janke. Acton late in the shot clock. And all kinds of pressure right in front of the Arrows bench as the shot clock does sound. 5 minutes to play in a 2-2 tie between the Arrows and the Excelsiors here on the OJLL Game of the Week, the first of 4. Hopefully coming up this week. Kogan. Shot through traffic, he scores. A true rookie here for the Arrows. Has been hot the past couple games, including his first OJLL hat trick And his first of the game here. See him set the screen and shoots through a big crowd. And I don't think there's any way that O'Toole saw that. Arrows have a 3-2 lead with under 5 to play in the period. McKay Jimerson and Quinn Brennan picking up assists. 2-point game now for Jimerson, as well as Matt Hamill. Dante Bowen. First possession off the face-off, going to stay out. Puts a shoulder into his man, Horseman. Comes up top for Scott. Knocked off his spot, on the crease. Horseman tried the quick stick and then ran through the crease. Excelsiors were already starting a change. So they'll quickly get back. Here's Jimerson for Kennedy to the far side. Hamill looks off the pass, goes to the crease, and O'Toole went with him for a good right arm save. Bounce pass all the way cross floor. Swamp tries to get away from his man, does. Now Kogan's got it again. Number of dance moves before putting it right into the body of Carty, then a bouncer. Fooled O'Toole, it looked like, but still recovered to make a reactionary save. Acton down the boards. Nolan Marshall. Horseman will come up to throw the pick to open space for Acton. Now De Silva burns the one in the middle. Comes up to throw the pick. Acton shot, looking 5-hole. Save made by the stick of Robertson. Yanni Thompson, he'll leave for Hill. Thunderhill finds Jimerson off the bench. Dalen John Hill back for Thunder. Behind the back, returning it to number 22 on the crease, and it's off his stick. And up out of play. Witter for Odette. Janke trying to set the screen. A nice recovery by Leroy Ryan Jimerson. Couple whacks from Byrne. He'll now give to Scott. And then back up top, Janke finds space. Trying to give it across to Byrne. Bouncing around towards the crease. And eventually the big Woody of Robertson corrals it. Powers will bounce it down the boards to Becker. He'll leave for Swamp as we approach the 2-minute warning. 3 20-minute periods. If you're new to OJLL, both teams have 2 timeouts as well. As we get near the end of the period here, they can use 1 per period. Kogan in the corner, no room for a shot. And it's ball down. That's Owen Chuviello getting it down to Acton, who scores. Couple nice moves on the crease for Aaron Acton, and his second of the game ties us up once again. This is just Acton all by himself, the spin move, then a couple fakes after his own rebound. And Eric Acton has a 3-point night. Big argument over this face-off before it's finally picked up by Witter. He'll wait for Byrne to come off the bench, close to the over and back line, but well clear of it. Down the boards to Janke. Horseman looks off Janke. And get it to Nolan Marshall. He'll wheel over the top. Byrne there to set a screen twist shot. Robertson the save. Closing in on the last minute, a collision just by the face-off restraining line. Josh Rickey called for the interference as him and De Silva got tangled up. Nolan Byrne to the outside. Da Silva steps up to throw the screen. Hard hit through the middle, and a penalty coming as Janke got blown up. It'll be a cross check. Thought maybe it would be Ricky again, but it looks like Cole Palace be the one. Keep your eye on in front of the... I think he's just playing defense, and unfortunately Janke stumbles at the same time, crashing into Ricky. The Arrows to the box for the first time after the Excelsiors took the first penalty of the game. Here's Horseman. Nearly cleanly intercepted. Byrne steps in front of his man. Horseman will get it back. They go back to Acton. Horseman played the man. Byrne goes after the ball. 5 on the shot clock. It's bouncing around in front of Horseman. And now the Arrows unable to pick up with Porter. Shot clock's going to expire. Quick restart, and Porter all alone in front. Kenny Porter and O'Toole got the better of him. Acton with under 15 to go in the period. Horseman. O'Toole's going to stay in the net. Bowie Horseman up top. Delayed penalty coming here. It's another one to the Arrows. Horseman goes down low to Scott. Back for Horseman. There's going to be no time for him to rip. His time will expire. And it's an unsportsmanlike penalty off the bench. That's going to put the Arrows down 2 men coming out of the rooms for the second period. But a back and forth first one has us tied 3-3. You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week, powered by Gatorade. We'll be back to Brampton after a short break.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Get
Get ready, Ottawa. Box Lacrosse is returning to its Canadian roots and giving the nation's capital the team they deserve.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Teams are out ready for the second period. We're tied 3-3, and it is the Excelsiors going on a 5-on-3 power play here for 1 minute and 6 seconds. Unsportsmanlike penalty to the Arrows bench, already with Cole Palace in the box. One other game ongoing, and it's Whitby at home leading Mimico 6-3 in the second period there. After Mimico lost to the suddenly surging Peterborough Lakers. Their first loss of the season earlier on the weekend. Here's Horseman down in the corner. Acton, cross crease, they score. Just too much time and space here for this power play. And it's the big boys for the Excelsiors that make it work. Starts with Horseman. He'll go to Acton and then Byrne cutting down behind everybody for his second of the game. And a 1-goal lead. Acton's got 4 points in on all 4 goals now for the Excelsiors. Took all of 24 seconds. Nicholas Belmonte. Thank you, Lucas, for the pronunciation update. Wins the faceoff, and Horseman and company will go back to work on this man advantage. Traditional power play now. Acted same play, though. This time for Scott in the back door. Couldn't handle the pass, although he does go back to get the loose ball, but under 10 on the shot clock. Horseman steps inside the restraining line, cross crease, quick stick outside from Acton. Off the leg, it looked like of perhaps Lewis Alfred. Either way, forcing the shot clock violation. Now Jaden Kennedy. They want to slow things down. Chase Cogan off the bench. Thunderhill down to the corner. Suggo Swamp does take the shot, and it's O'Toole that will hang on. Excelsiors going right to left in this second period. Nolan Byrne will roll it to Acton. 30 seconds left in their power play. About 8 less than that on the shot clock. Byrne across to Horseman. Now Byrne again. Acton's gone into the middle of the box. He'll pick up the loose ball. Shoot and score. Eric Acton in on all 5 goals. Now, as the Excelsiors capitalize on both ends of that 5-on-3. Blown up play, and well, that's just a great shot from Acton. It didn't look like there was much space at all to put that in. Acton, Horseman, and Byrne connect on all 3, or excuse me, both of the goals. On that power play, outside, here's Hamill. Now McCain Jimerson. Flip back, Thunderhill turning back. Big handful of jersey there in the glove of Trent Robertson. Hill turns and scores. Thunderhill draws the penalty and just keeps his feet moving. There's the call right there on a handful of jersey, and watch him get the screen on a beautiful spin move. Then as Bowen comes up to take the shot away, it's past him and into the net behind O'Toole. Thunderhill's first of the game. Quickly back the other way. Off the post. As we go end to end. Witter knocked down. That's Paulus. But he does cross center, then takes another bump right in front of the penalty box. That one did knock the ball free. Where Blaze Becker now gets it into the attack. parking zone. Shot on the doorstep. Dalen John Hill got behind everybody and will win the ball back again. Arms go up on the bench of Six Nations. They want to slow it down. Jaden Jimerson back up top for Swamp. To the far side, Kogan spinning away from Witter. Cross floor, Dalen John Hill by himself drags the feet so they don't cross into that cylinder. And down floor, Ty Carty got behind everybody. Witter found him. But eventually the Arrows defense and Yanni Thompson able to catch up. Here's Byrne. Sending it through. Liam Odette knocked down. Just as the pass arrived, Robertson will drag it back. And it started out. Blaze Becker, Jaden Jimerson assisting on the most recent goal from Thunder Hill. Here's Hamill. Hill setting the pick on Bowen. Thunder Hill not the biggest player on the floor by any stretch. Spinning shot, bouncing through the legs of O'Toole there. McKay Jimerson looking for his second of the game. De Silva gives to Scott. And Byrne. Through Janke to the outside. Horseman, all five have touched it here for the Excelsiors. As they so often do, Christopher De Silva lost it. Byrne picks up. Reminiscent of their first goal. Big collision. Picked up, fired and scored from outside for Ty Scott. This play blows up a couple times, including there. And this is late in the shot clock. That took 3 Arrows out of defensive position. Then Scott at the shot clock. Releases from way outside. And Byrne has 4 points. That's the first goal that Aaron Acton is not a part of. Belmonte tried to whack that face-off back to Dante Bowen. Official Kyle Kennery apologized that he got in the way. Bowen has it again, and don't let him get ahead of steam. Here he comes. Shot well wide of the mark. Ty Carty was trailing the play, and a rare miss for Bowen. Usually transition. That one's headed at least for a shot on goal. Not that time. Dalen John Hill to Thunder Hill. Back around the horn again, Jimerson. Dalen Hill, Thunder in behind the net. All the way up top, Kogan. They go back to that X spot to Kogan again. 5 on the shot clock. Does come from Kogan, and it's saved from O'Toole. Rebound and picked up Trent Robertson. He wants to push transition. Robertson found Acton off the bench, overran it just briefly. Now they'll set up down in the corner, Horseman. From here, Bowie Horseman likes to roll to the top and shoot. Passes to Nolan Byrne, this time one-on-one instead. Byrne, swim move past his man. Big pressure coming. And Brody Thomas has been a force on defense here tonight. That's a couple times he's come across the front of his own crease with bad intentions. So goes Swamp. Into the corner, Hill again. Arrows trailing by 2. 6.5 gone in this second period. Ball bounces off of Nolan Marshall, was in there as well. They're going to say it went off Jaden Jimerson and up out of play. Marshall will put it to the outside boards. Janke now through Scott and De Silva. Christopher De Silva, stutter step to the cage. A bounce shot there off of Robertson. In stride, though, picked up Kenny Porter. He'll head back the other way, takes Janke all the way to the corner. Now Witter coming in to help out. Change continuing for the Arrows as their shot clock nears 10 seconds. Kennedy stops up and shoots. Bowen wanted to pick up and got run into. Ball does cross the over and back line. I think Bowen was ready for Reset to pick it up, and he was going to light him up if he did. Horseman to the line again, Janke. Now Byrne. Pick set by De Silva, who rose back to the crease and actually stopped. I think that was intended for him and not Janke. Odette crashing through, takes a high hit. And Cole Powless is going to head back to the penalty box for the second time as soon as the ball gets turned over, which it does right now. And no even argument or hesitation from Powless. And I imagine it's going to be called a cross check. No, high stick. This will be right through mid. Keep your eye on number 5. And, yeah, into the net as he went through. Obvious call, and some of the NLL officials, like Kyle Kennery, who you see there in your frame, shy away from that because it is 5 minutes in the NLL. The 2-minute minor for high sticking does exist here. And that was the call there on Powless. Horseman up top, skips it off the turf. In on Robertson. Rebound picked up and down floor just out of the reach of Becker. O'Toole trying to keep the 1 foot in that crease. So he can reach through. Witter. Down to Janke in the corner. Acton. Horseman. Getting it through to Scott. Now Byrne. Horseman again up top. A big swim move. Finds freedom. Janke quick stick on the crease. This time it comes from Ty Scott. It forces Robertson from left to right. But he's been back and forth in this second period on those quick sticks on the crease. 2 of them have ended up in the back of the net, but they're going to run that play until it stops working. Belmonte out there with Kennedy. Witter, a big hit and heads up over there. And Doorman in the penalty bench. They wait and give Witter some space. De Silva, Byrne. De Silva knocked down. Byrne then puts his shoulder back into his man. Janke stops up, fires, rebound rolled out of his stick. Arrows weren't aware of it. Wales Reset had ran down floor. Now comes for the back check on Nolan Marshall, who has to wheel away from top spot. Minute away from the halfway mark here, the period. Odette cross floor. Dropping his shoulder is De Silva coming through the reach back move. Robertson went with it, and it's off the left arm. Byrne, cross floor, big hit. That one pops the ball free. Yanni Thompson got all of his men cutting through the center. Here's Odette. Fires through the defender. And I was talking with someone earlier before the game about hand injuries. That's part of the reason why follow-throughs, as defenders are now starting to step up and take those shots away. But another collision of sticks up high. Looked like everyone was okay as they went their separate ways. Another one that gets shot through the defender. Almost on cue from McKay Jimerson. Now O'Toole finding Ty Carty far side. Eric Acton. Hidden ball play with Scott. Acton still had it. Gives it to the captain, Horseman. Scott. De Silva. Bouncing around the far side. One screen, now a second from Scott. All the way back across. Uses the boards to get it here to Marshall. Scott will have no time to shoot. The shot clock expires. And it'll be turned over. 9.5 to go in what is a 3-goal game. We're tied 3-3 at halftime. Intermission of the first period. I think we're in the second. I'm pretty sure we're in the second. Ball bouncing close to that center line. Thompson had a foot over when he picked it up. That's the over and back, and then knocks it away from the Excelsior player. There was a couple oohs and ahs from the bench underneath of us wanting the over and back call. Listening to the explanation from Kyle Kennery on the over and back. Could have made a case for delay of game as well. Here's Byrne. Walking through, off balance shot. Fools Robertson. Hat trick for Nolan Byrne, the second on the Excelsior side of the ledger tonight. Watch him just come through the middle, and right there he's going to stumble a little bit and shoots over top of the defender. I don't think Robertson saw that at all. Lead up to 4 now, doubling up. Belmonte allowed to just walk straight in. Face-off violation. Gave it back in the quick restart. Snap goes into the corner. Marshall had to play it off the glass. Gets pushed outside past the restraining line by Porter. Byrne spinning back. He drops his shoulder in on Becker. Now back up top. Janke diving for it. Pushed it far enough for Marshall to beat the shot clock. But Robertson makes sure there's no rebound, and it'll be Kenny Porter back the other way. Chase Kogan. John Hill. Swamp. Off the bench. Quickly back down into the corner for Kogan. Through the middle, they score. Dalen John Hill becomes the 5th different scorer on 5 goals from the Arrows, who do like to spread it around. And doing the same here tonight. Paulus picked up the faceoff, wasn't aware that Witter was coming from behind. Got knocked out of his stick. Here's Kennedy. Swamp. Into the corner for Hill. No room for him to get a shot. Now Jimerson. Pass down low. Jaden Jimerson. The return feed. Looking for the rebound. Jaden Jimerson taken into the end boards. It's off the stick of Carty. Then O'Toole took a shove as he came out to throw the pick. No one from the Excelsior side. Janke to the crease where Horseman was all alone. He's not sure where the ball is. And Lewis Alfred runs into it. Kogan. Hamill already out there through the middle. Kennedy the last one. Here's Thunderhill. Phoenix pulling, blowing right through a screen. Into the corner, Witter and his man back to the crease. Second straight time there's been contact on O'Toole. And a bit of a reaction out of Trent Robertson, but not too much. Imagine if it keeps going, there will be though. Byrne to Janke through the middle. He turned and fired quickly off of Robertson. Rebound went right to Scott, who goes right to the net and scores. Ty Scott's second of the game. Offensive rebounds starting to become a story here for the Excelsiors, who have now scored 3 goals on extra possessions. here through the 14 minutes or so that we've played in this second period. Kennedy ran into Bowen, who pushed him back. Now Paulus, the Dalen John Hill off the bench. Jaden Jimerson to Hamill. Now John Hill. Thunderhill shot open. Dante Bowen stepped up and Hill's sidearm went way wide. Kogan got the rebound. Jimerson on the crease, run over. Celsius are just going to let the shot clock run out here before setting it up the far side of the floor. 5.5 to go in the second. Byrne has De Silva behind him. Marshall already out there. Odette joins the party now. Here's Byrne all alone in the nice back check. And another big Brody Thomas. And look out here, Thomas involved for this loose ball. Started 2-on-1 Arrows versus Excelsiors. Now it's pretty much all hands on deck except for 3 guys on the floor all looking for this loose ball. Trying to drag it through. Loose call does come out and it's in the stick of Byrne. Excelsior fans cheering. Robertson, a wide sidearm shot. The Arrows peel out and get the over and back call. Odette limping a little bit on the run. Coming to the bench, looked absolutely gassed. He was at the bottom of that loose ball pile as he headed off. Here's Chase Kogan. And so goes Swamp. Kogan wants to go one-on-one. Pullen took his lane away. Now back up to Swamp. And Pullen goes from the crease to the top to soak the shot. And we got another big battle for this loose ball. Just sent back down by McKay Jimerson, knowing that his shot clock was off. But what a defensive shift that was for Phoenix Pullen. Christopher De Silva. Alfred took his lane to the crease away. Horseman from outside. Ball bounced up to Janke. Spinning check there from Horseman. Caught Quinn Brennan and knocked him down, and Horseman's going to sit for the trip. Just unfortunate here. Looked like the check was okay, but then the feet more than anything at the same time on the replay got tangled up. That's what brought the player down, but Horseman goes to the box. Chance for the Arrows here, perhaps. Get back in this one, still trailing by 4. Shot from Kennedy right off the face mask of O'Toole. Kennedy asked if he's okay. Not sure if he even got a response, but Kogan from the outside. That one's wide, and Kyle Kennedy's going to check for real. O'Toole does want to check that everything's okay with the mask more than anything. And gives the nod that we're good to go. Excelsiors with a fresh possession down to our left. Wheeling over the top, dropping the shoulder is Nolan Marshall, taking it all the way. Palace. They want Ricky to come over. As well, that's Josh Ricky, number 5. And eventually that double team was there to strip it away. Kate Jimerson. Jaden Kennedy. Back through Hamill and Kogan. Kennedy and Jimerson. Swamp's the only one that hasn't touched it on the near side of the crease. Now they go cross floor and it bounces off his stick. Swamp has Cardi on him and the shot clock expires before he can release. 2.5 left to go. 35 seconds left in the Horseman penalty. Acton sends it up to De Silva. Byrne will back out. Chris De Silva over to Byrne. Tries to split the defense, and Alfred and Ricky aren't going to allow that to happen. Byrne ends up on the carpet, and then from his knees, took the shot, was barreled over after the fact. Just seems like a bad idea to go try and play offense against the likes of Lewis Alfred and Josh Rickey and Brody Thomas tonight. Some big bodies down there for the Arrows in front of Ethan Robinson. O'Toole the save and the outlet pass to Horseman on his wrong side. Shoots anyways over top of Blaze Becker. And it's going to roll to the far side. And Exhibit A there, Thomas putting Witter into the outside boards. We are all even down to the floor. Hard shot from Scott gets through. Third Brampton hat trick here tonight as Ty Scott gets number 3. Kind of slow developing and not a whole lot until the floor opened up. And we're going to get a goalie change here. Robertson coming out in favor of Saga Thompson, who's been in net for some monster shots on goal games. 72 to open the season. Face-off bounces all the way down towards the crease of Thompson. High pass there for Marshall. In and out of the stick. Drops in front of Janke. Janke to De Silva as we're in the last minute. Both teams have all of their timeouts remaining. Byrne cuts back, gets stuffed. Byrne now across from Marshall. That one also off the head of the stick. 5 to shoot. Through the middle, Byrne can't. De Silva, a twister that was trying to force it as they were that late in the clock, and it went up and out into the screening. But it was also outside of 30 seconds to go, so Arrows can't really use their timeout here. Here's Hill. Led his man, and immediately as it's touched by Brampton, they signal that they want to halt to proceedings here and drop a final play. Reminder to subscribe here to the YouTube channel, as we have 4 games upcoming on the OJLL Games of the Week. Tomorrow night, our crew at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center, a big one between the Oakville Buzz and the Toronto Beaches. Then we'll be back here on Friday for the first time on the Game of the Week. We'll see Kitchener-Waterloo come here to the Memorial Arena. And then in Mimico, 7 o'clock on Saturday, our first look at the defending champion Burlington Blaze, who have struggled early through the first half of this season. Mimico in action tonight in Whitby. We're leading 6-3 at one point. Reminder that you can download the OJLL app as well to get those score updates, the entire schedule, and standings right at your fingertips. 21 seconds left to go here in the second period, 10-5. Excelsior's trying to get one more before the end of the period. Horseman to Byrne, who's just going to wait it out. They've got Connor O'Toole on the bench. 7 seconds now, and now they are going to run the play. It's just Scott, coming up to throw the screen, and it's out of the stick of Horseman, who turns back here for Acton. No time to shoot. Stepping up in front of that play to knock the ball free, it was Blaze Becker, who makes the timeout a moot point, but a big period for the Excelsiors, who got a 10 spot through 2 periods and lead by 5. It's the first of 4 OJLL Games of the Week here on YouTube. We'll bring you back to Brampton for the third period in about 10 minutes' time. You're watching the Game of the Week, fueled by Gatorade.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Yeah, let's go. Raise up one time, go get it. It's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Get
Get ready, Ottawa. Box Lacrosse is returning to its Canadian roots and giving the nation's capital the team they deserve.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Back inside Brampton Memorial Arena, getting set for period number 3 here between the Excelsiors and the Six Nations Arrows. Can tell you that Mimico appear to have picked up their second loss of the season. 9-3 the score out in Whitby tonight. So Whitby will move to 5-4. 5-3 will be their record. Being the winner tonight, thought they could move into third place, but this would be a battle for fourth, whoever wins here tonight. Dante Bowen couldn't pick that up cleanly, neither could Callum Witter. And it's an over and back call against the Arrows. Byrne with the restart. He of 7 points, including a hat trick. One of 3 Excelsiors who have potted 3 goals here tonight. De Silva, that one off his stick, and then he got blown up by Quinn Brennan. And they called that on the interference. Byrne all alone on the crease and stepped in. Porter, another well-timed hit to knock his man back over the line. Down the boards, far side, Dalen John Hill puts a shoulder into the defender, then shoots. O'Toole to save. It's up here for Belmonte. Belmonte to Odette off the bench. Now Marshall wheeling through, and save made by Saga Thompson, who remains in the net. Ricky curls away from pressure. Thunder Hill. Jaden Jimerson. Now around over the top. Jimerson down low. Hamill pulled over by Bowen. Out into the corner. He goes after it with a purpose, and then a big headlock. Taken towards the bench, and Bowen having words there, I believe, for Quinn Brennan. Not entirely sure who that was doing their best Stanley Cup Finals impression. De Silva out of the corner. Byrne looked like he was going to set a screen. De Silva down to a knee. Now the pick comes. Back to the roll, and they score. Textbook two-man game between De Silva and Nolan Byrne. And Byrne's big night continues after this pick and roll right here. 4 goals now for Nolan Byrne. And De Silva picks up the assist on the beautiful pick and roll. Belmonte's traded the runner's stick for the face-off twig. Heads up Gracie Hiltz. And Lewis Alfred takes the ball. Jaden Jimerson playing back to McKay. Ball to the far side now. Dalen John Hill to McKay Jimerson. He's cutting through, and I think that was Blondin that came in and put a stick check that forced that one high and wide. Connor Blondin credited with an assist in tonight's game. Byrne up to Bowie Horseman. Not many Excelsiors without points here tonight. As Byrne takes top spot and gets 5. Goodness, stay hot. Screen there back just outside of the fan, and most of the goals have been from that area or on the doorstep from number 22 here this evening. Belmonte run over, and then a couple chops from Jameson after the fact. Dante Bowen picks up, wants to run transition, has Witter, takes the shot, By the way, both of them are players without points in this game. Alfred trying the give and go. They'll get it up to Kogan and get an offensive change in already halfway through their shot clock, though. Thunderhill. Suggo Swamp back for Jimerson. Nifty little pass to find Kogan. Spin move, shot just wide. Here's Swamp. From the outside, tries to skip one through, and the shot clock will sound. And give Brampton the ball. They're up 12-5 on back-to-back goals here. In the second period, 52 seconds apart. And the Arrows now take it back in and give Liam Odette and the Excelsiors another chance. Byrne is being all kinds of worked over by Blaze Becker and Brody Thomas. That's left De Silva to the outside wide open. He takes the pass now. De Silva knocking it back. They had Byrne open off his stick. Straight to Horseman. Quick stick on the crease. Looking to get the socks ready for Byrne. That was twice that the Excelsiors tried to find the hot hand. Brennan to the outside. Dalen John Hill crashes in with Chuviello. Kennedy now gets past Witter. Will pass back up to Jimerson. He's dealing with Baker. Still shoots and still scores. Just a pass back up top and shot that fools O'Toole. Doesn't get fooled by that not much very often. First goal for Six Nations since the 12-17 mark. Oh, I guess 7:43 mark, of the second period. 15:02 on the clock when that one went in. Two Jimersons connecting again. Back here for Swamp. Defender in front had fallen. Bowen takes his man Hamill down. You can see the fire in his eyes from here, wanting revenge for that earlier takedown. Only 2 points in the game so far for Thunderhill. Top points getter. As Scott was looking for his man to the crease, couldn't get the pass through, and it's turned back over. Jacob Janke after the Arrows had it briefly. You can see how tired Becker looks from here. Bounce shot, Horseman into the legs of Thompson, no goal. Diving across the goal line, Josh Rickey may have saved one for the Arrows. Cole Powless, who has been to the box twice tonight, arguing that call that may have caught him high. Jimerson looks off the pass, goes to the crease, and it's a save made by O'Toole. O'Toole for Chuviello. Going to cross center. The bench getting a warning for a couple late hits. Thomas has De Silva in his sights and taken down hard into the corner. And Thomas is going to go. Now sitting on top of Chris De Silva. Thompson and Pullen in behind met each other, and Thomas doesn't like the call, neither does the bench. But the proximity of the boards here, as we get another look of the Rickey. You know, we watched Jeff Cornwall, I believe it was Jeff, do that in Coquitlam Adirondacks in the 2012 Minto Cup. A lot easier to do it on the hard surface at Iroquois Park Arena than it is on the turf here, but same result. And then a look at the penalty after the fact. Horseman, the bouncer to Byrne. High screen from Acton. Horseman shot around. Back-to-back saves Thompson. Horseman picks up the rebound. Officially an illegal cross-check and 2 minutes for Brody Thomas. Meanwhile, Acton, who looked like he was going to have a big night, has with 5 points, including a hat trick. Blaze Becker down floor. Mentioned earlier he looked tired last shift he was out there. Just couldn't catch up to that outlet pass. Acton has it again. But it's been Nolan Byrne, a 9-point night, who has it right now, including 5 goals. Halfway through this power play as Byrne has it up top again. Around the back for Scott, was looking for the top corner, and Thompson came across to make the save. Alfred out to the outside boards. That's where Cole Palace is. Palace for Swamp. His shot stuffed by Robertson. And yes, there's 12 goals up on the side of the ledger of the Brampton Excelsiors, but only 6 on the side of the Arrows. Thanks in part, I would say, to an underrated defense here in Brampton. Acton on the crease, Janky. Horseman now for Byrne. Him and Horseman. Play catch, no look pass. Down into the corner. Bouncing ball, Byrne couldn't pick up. And now Alfred has Paulus behind everybody, tries to dive and kept his feet out of the cylinder. O'Toole, you saw him come lawn darting right into the crease. Good job to keep his composure and make the save. Here's Hamill. Hamill to Jimerson. Big high pick from Kennedy. Took his man right outside the restraining line. Now up top to Thunder Hill. The skipper off the carpet. And Dalen John Hill and Belmonte still tied up after the fact. Ty Carty has the ball long way away from pressure. Josh Rickey hard on the ball carrier. Played through here to Da Silva. Da Silva. Burns sets the screen. And yes, he's got 5 goals, but he's been the man who's been open in space a lot tonight as well. Exceptional game for number 22. Sago Swamp. McKay Jimerson. Back to Kogan. Outside, a screen there. Kogan cutting through the crease. They allow that shot to count. And the reset by Hill. Kogan setting a screen in front. Jimerson, far side, Swamp. Shot, it's caught up in the, looks like, left pad of O'Toole, although he wasn't quite sure after making the save. Acton, one-on-one with Porter. Running dangerously close to the timeline. Acton will pass it back to Horseman. Penalty called here as Acton was taken to the outside boards. That's Thomas, who just got back on the floor. Now he's going to take a run at Horseman. Got pointed at by the official. I was wondering if we might get 2 here, but Thomas is just going, looks like, for interference on the initial play with Byrne on the near side boards. It'll be started by Horseman. Nolan Marshall down to the crease. Janky back up top quickly. Horseman has it again. Keep your eye on Byrne, number 22, just outside of the fan. No lefties have touched it. Now he does. The twist shot. Thompson looking for the loose ball. And Byrne couldn't pick up. Nearly got run over. Porter does grab it. And it's taken away from the scene by Powless. Then a diving champ falling backwards on top of the ball was O'Toole. Got to adjust his gear after making the save. as the penalty time is down to 1 minute and 10 seconds. Byrne way outside. Elects to go to Marshall, who picks the corner. But Byrne will get another point here in this game to put him to 10. Watch this shot from Marshall. Becomes just the 5th Excelsior player to score in this game. Whew. Ty Scott now working a 5-point night. Belmonte holding his ground here. Kennedy pushed it back past the restraining line, but right in the direction of the Excelsiors. Janke has Odette crossing in front of him. Elects to go to Byrne, and tonight, why wouldn't you? Janke Odette all the way across to De Silva. It's De Silva and Byrne tonight. De Silva by himself, crossbar, Odette's shot. That one bounces off Robertson into the outside boards where Porter will pick up. The Arrows tonight just have not have an answer for Chris De Silva and Nolan Byrne working the two-man game on the left side of the floor. Thunderhill. Dalen John Hill. Back through to Jimerson. It's McKay setting the screen. Dalen John Hill backs into pressure again. Loves that move, but these big Excelsior defenders just have not been able to budge off their spot tonight for Hill to get any type of space, although he does have the one goal. Marshall taking a couple whacks. Pullen steps up to throw the screen, and Marshall starting to feel it, took an outside shot, and Robertson saved. Lewis Alfred on the rebound. Kogan behind everybody, that pass in and out of the stick. Chuviello stumbles in the corner. This is on the Excelsior's 8 count. Had to force it a little bit up in the direction of Callum Witter. And too far. 6.5 to play. Lead up to 7 for the Excelsiors. Another penalty coming here on the shot from Powless. 2 officials had it, and it'll be a holding call. This matches the highest goal output. 13 is the highest output for the Excelsiors on the season. Before that, it was 11 in their 11-9 win back on May the 30th against Oakville. Dalen John Hill for Kogan. Up top, Thunderhill. Kogan again, and Witter just got a piece of that and then jumps in front of Hill. Although Hamill there to grab the loose ball. Oh, that one from Dalen Hill got past O'Toole. He was down in the splits and it bounced wide. Witter close to the over and back line, and yes, he was pushed into the backfield. 5.5 to go, 40 seconds gone in the holding penalty to Owen Chuviello. Kogan into the corner. That's where Kennedy is, all the way back around the horn, maybe one more time. Kogan sees the lane open, and Witter may have deflected that one towards the empty part of the net where it goes in. Wide open shot from Chase Kogan, second of the game. First power play goal of the game, by the way. And Jaden Kennedy, second assist of the night. De Silva from the corner, the quick response. It was Chris De Silva finally rewarded with a goal after being the setup man nearly all night long. Splits the double team, which has been hard to do tonight for the Excelsiors, but lets a sidearm shot go. And now 6 different Excelsiors have combined to score 14 goals. Belmonte moved early. So Suggo Swamp will pick up. Now across to Jimerson. Pulling, chasing him down towards the corner. Go back up to Jimerson again. Hill and Swamp. This is Kogan that's popped out of the pile. Screen coming from McKay Jimerson. His sidearm shot right into the Excelsior logo. Down the far boards, Bowen spins away from pressure. Nolan Marshall and Ty Scott closing in on 4 minutes left to go. Yanni Thompson was face-to-face there with Nolan Marshall. A couple chops back and forth, and then a shove at the end of it. They call it as a moving screen. I think that's just as good, being a non-penalty call. As the officials start to keep an eye out for stuff just like that. Dalen John Hill stuffed. Still got the shot away over top of Neil Adamson, who wears an A for the Excelsiors this year. Chuva Yellow, sensing transition. The big man turns and scores. And look at the Excelsiors stream off the bench. Straight transition for Oven Chuva Yellow in his grad year. First goal of the season. He did have one last year. That's what this team is made of. And Dalen John Hill is getting the early shower here. 2 for roughing and a game misconduct. I think that's... I think the penalty, yeah, some confusion here. Penalty was delayed in the change box. So it gets wiped out by the goal is what all 3 officials are saying. And then the game misconduct tacked on because it was a penalty in the change box. If I understand my rule book correctly, which a couple times this season we have proved to not be the case. But I believe that's what has caused the early night for Dalen John Hill. How many face-offs has that been saved by Kenny Porter? Another one, but then he bombed it up into the safety netting. Nolan Byrne. 15-7 now. The Excelsior is on top of the Arrows. De Silva, stumble. Gets back up. Burns going to set the screen. Looked like he was going to roll back to the crease again, but the shot already taken by De Silva. And we got 3 minutes left to go. A reminder that this is one of 4 games on the schedule, so be sure you subscribe here on the YouTube channel. Over 4,000 subscribers now. Tuning into our OJLO Games of the Week. 8 p.m. start tomorrow The undefeated Toronto Beaches facing the Oakville Buzz at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Best way to watch these games is live and in person, but of course, if you can't, we will take you through it. Cheer goes up as Chuva Yellow's goal is announced here in-house. Adamson to the outside. Jacob Janke. Scott comes up to take the pass and run into by Thomas. It looked like the play was over. He was going to dump it. And I mean, Thomas plays at an 11 all game anyways. I don't know how you ask him to stop, but that one was bordering on the line. Hamill wants to drop the shoulder there on Bowen. Bowen, a nice recovery, goes back to work in behind the net, and then puts his hand on Hamill. Remember, Bowen was taken down in the corner earlier on. And maybe that was a little bit of revenge as he turns and has some words for number 15. This was all good until right there, the extra arm coming out and around, and Kennedy didn't like the little bit extra. That went on from there. So under 2 minutes to go. Holding penalty against Bowen, which would be the rest of regulation should the Arrows not score here. Kogan takes it in, couple fakes. Shoots past Connor Blondin and into the corner. Kennedy. They did reset the shot clock, so it must have hit O'Toole somehow. Now Kennedy past the screen. Back up top. Hamill, a low bouncer. Neil Adamson will pick up the rebound as it never got all the way through. It's a couple block shots and transition the other way from the alternate captain. Liam Odette takes us into the final minute of play. Big chop there from Kogan, who picks up the loose ball that he caused. And Marshall able to knock it away, but only briefly. Porter will leave it across center for Kogan. And Thunder Hill. Excelsiors have kept Hill to just 2 points tonight. 1 goal, 1 assist. Kogan goes back to Hill again, a screen, and O'Toole matches that. So the Whitby Warriors winners tonight. They will move into 3rd place in the standings behind Mimico at 6-2. 5-3 for Whitby. And 5-4. The Brampton Excelsiors right up there with 4th place. Big game for both of these teams and a big win in a big way for the Brampton Excelsiors here on home floor. 15-7, your final score. 3 Excelsiors with hat tricks. Nolan Byrne leads the way with 10 points. Final reminder that we'll be on air at 8 o'clock tomorrow night from the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Beaches and Buzz right here on the YouTube channel. On behalf of our producer, Gary Morrison with the JVI Sports Network, Colleen Grimes, the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, and our director, Rachel Wolf, I'm Matthew Carrick. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Once again, the Excelsiors win 15-7. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow from Oakville.
Place of poison.